Well, I'm going to talk about our class for anti-discrimination on October 28th with the guest lecture from Dr. Dirk. He was really great. He gave me some really great ideas for teaching with lots of movement and how effective that can be for really getting a point across and encouraging dialogue. He had us do the continuum thing when he put in the Time magazine cover on the slides of what millennials are like according to boomers, and he had us in on the continuum based on how true or false we thought that statement was, and the activity really ignited a lot of great conversation. So that's something I'm definitely going to use in future classes. Yeah, I really like the quote that he started out with. I don't remember who said it, but we cannot create world peace and can only strive for consciousness to the extent we are able. Saying that, just because we are part of an identity does not mean that we know all about it. And hate comes, we talked about where hate comes from, how it is taught and learned from, day one, basically through media, othering, and through education, and as well as our families' lived experiences. And we talked about how that's something that's addressed in the movie Scarborough, with the father of the girl, I forget her name, but how he is racist, but it's really not his fault. It's, or do you see like more about how it's more nuanced than just like people are born evil and racist, and systems are more complex, and obviously it's very beneficial for people to be pitted against each other, and beneficial for keeping the people in power. We talked about how hate might show up in our classroom, and how important it is to be reflective, continuously confronting our biases, and leveraging community. And some ways that hate might show up in our classroom is in the curriculum. And the government curriculum, as Dr. Dirk said, is not neutral, which I think is great to remember. And we've had so many great guest lecturers, including Professor Green and obviously Professor Reed, who have talked about great resources for the classroom to make sure that the government mandated curriculum we're teaching isn't all that we're teaching, because it is inherently a colonial tool, and we need to be mindful and remember that, and actively try and integrate different perspectives and different histories into the classroom. We talked about how social media has cut through the middleman of needing to be seen by students, but how that's such an important thing for young people to feel like they can speak their minds, and how we can create conditions for students and children in our classrooms to be seen and feel seen. The value line activity that we did was a really great example of that. Encouraging students to think for themselves and reflect on where they stand on an issue, as well as platforming them and showing them that their opinions do matter, that we take them seriously. I thought that was so cool and important to talk about. We talked about giving teachers the right toolkit to intervene in hate incidents, and how we have to develop our own toolkit, because it is risky. As Dr. Dick mentioned, you could be canceled for either intervening or not intervening in an issue because of power structure. So the way that we do intervene in hate incidents has to be very mindful, and we shouldn't have to it shouldn't be up to marginalized people to intervene in hate incidents. We talked in the last class about, and repeatedly, about how like teachers and staff members of color are continuously called upon to deal with hate incidents and act as like representatives or spokespeople for their race, and how important it is for like white educators to intervene in hate incidents, because we are at so much less of a risk of actually it impacting our jobs, but also it's our responsibility as co-conspirators and people who care about students and also all people, in order to foster safe and inclusive, but really safe places for our students and staff. We need to be prepared to put ourselves on the line and take action, but mindfully, so that we aren't just pulling people into situations that can put them at risk. So I thought that was a lot of really great information from Dr. Douglas's lecture. I have a lot more, but I don't want to go too long. Thank you.